Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of the Farmhouse Dirt. I am here with Shalee Hoffman with the Wayne TeamMates program, and she is going to talk to us a little bit today about the program's offerings as well as some of the program's needs right now, what you're doing to get outreach into the community, and some ways that you're trying to fundraise to keep the program going. So thanks for coming by.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. I'm excited for this. So I've been a mentor for several years now.
About a decade. I actually just looked it up this morning.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I have a senior this year, so she's going to be aging out of the program unless she continues in college, obviously. But hopefully we can stay in touch. And it's been kind of fun to stay in touch with my mentees after we've graduated them out of the school system and seeing them grow and go off to college and start their families. So it's been a great program.
Yes.
So
You've had some great kids.
I have, yes. It's been fun. So tell us about what TeamMates is to start off.
Yeah, so TeamMates started back in the early 90s with Coach Osborne. That's usually the buzzword that people are like, yeah, we know who that is. But him and his wife, Nancy, recognized a need in the school system in Lincoln. So they matched some of the football players from the Husker team with junior high boys. And they just had them meet once a week. And they started to see changes in these kids. These were kids that were actually like at risk. They didn't think these kids were going to graduate. So they stuck with these kids through high school graduation. All but one ended up graduating. And many of them went on to college. Like they just turned around because they had a person in their life, somebody to give them hope.
Wow.
So from there, they're like, we need to do something with this. This is bigger than just a few junior high kids. So started in Lincoln, and now it's grown for all across Nebraska and almost all of the surrounding states now.
Absolutely.
Too.
Yes.
So taken off.
Yeah. So it's a great mentorship program, and it really gives kids a jump start if they're having struggles at school, struggles at home. And to be honest, we really don't talk about much of the school stuff or anything that involves like studying. I mean, it's really just like kind of a mental health check-in most generally. And sometimes all you do is play a game. It's just to give them a chance to know that somebody is there thinking about them and is concerned about them and wants them to excel and do well. So it's really, just kind of tugs at your heartstrings, I guess you could say.
And in the beginning, it was definitely targeted towards at-risk kids, like the kids in that stereotype. But now any kid can be in TeamMates. Anybody that wants to have a mentor, and even those kids that from the outside looking in, you're like, oh, they've got it all together. They've got everything. They still need somebody to talk to.
They do, yes.
Just as much as anybody else.
Yes, exactly. Because some of us can be kind of a high-functioning, whatever it might be, but deep down, you just need that emotional support from somebody that really, truly believes in what you're doing and what you can do.
Absolutely.
So that's the benefit of TeamMates. And so we talk about the importance of mentors and mentorship, and how do you even recruit mentors for something like this?
Our best way is word of mouth. Like a lot of our mentors talk to people like, hey, my mentee and I did this. We had so much fun today. So that is our best recruiting tool. We do a lot of different outreach. Like last night, we actually went to Men's Golf League and we just set up some tables and talked to guys because we really need male mentors. So we went to where the men are. Tonight, we're doing the city stroll at Wayne State because college students actually make great mentors as well. As long as they can commit to a couple of years, we will take them. But yeah, really word of mouth has been our best recruitment tool.
And now the program's been around long enough, we're starting to see like a recycling of people who have benefited from it and who have been able to use it. And they're repaying that favor now to a lot of these young people who need that support. So it's really cool to see that come full circle for everybody.
We just talked to one of the guys at golf last night that was a mentee at Wayne.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I really should be a mentor now. Why have I not thought about this? So I'm looking for that application.
Yes. And it is a process. You have to go through a background check and do some screening and so forth, and some training. But it's not like super rigorous. It's, you're going to help people in the long run to, prepare themselves for what they're going to do after school. It might not be a 4-year college. It might be something where they go into the trades, but perhaps you're a tradesman or a tradesperson and you can help influence their path for where they're going to go. So
our big joke is if you can play Uno, you can be a mentor. That's really all you have to be able to do.
That's true.
Sit down and play cards.
And really the conversation just starts flowing. I mean, you can have a little friendly competition, but then as they start to feel more comfortable with you and they know you're not going to just quiz them on what's going on in life and how's your day going and you need to do this and that and otherwise, then they really kind of open up. So it's just kind of an organic way of communicating with kids.
Exactly.
So what are some of your mentor needs now? I mean, what's
So right now, going into this school year, we have 25 kids on our wait list. So that means 25 kids that have been nominated for TeamMates and their parents have filled out permission so they are allowed to join.
Sure.
So we really need a lot of mentors. 17 of those are boys. It's always harder to find male mentors.
Right.
I think, no offense to the men, but I think they're a little bit scared that they're going to have to sit across from a boy and just talk to them.
Sure.
But once they realize, hey, we can play basketball. We can go outside and throw the football when it's nice. We can play a game of cards. It's actually kind of fun.
Right, exactly.
It takes those barriers down a little bit.
Definitely. And all of this happens right on the school campus, right?
Yes.
So you're not leaving the school, and that can be intimidating sometimes too, to go back into the school
Yes.
or find parking at the school. But
Yes.
It generally, depending on the time of day, you can get a front row parking seat.
Yep.
You can walk right in the front doors and you can go do what you need to do for 40 or 50 minutes that day.
And our schools are so supportive. They
really
seen the
are.
benefit of the program, so they are very supportive. So if there is a mentor in the building, they are more than willing to help. Like if you can't find where your student's classroom is or need a place to meet, they are so helpful.
Right, exactly. And I've noticed something new at the elementary school. There's a kiosk there in the main hallway. So tell me about this and what that means or what you can do with it.
So Teenage Chapters, we were offered a grant. It was called the READ Grant. So with Link to Literacy, they were partnered together. And they were really focusing on like these kids, if they have a mentor, how are those, like if they're struggling a little bit with reading, how's that helping?
Okay.
So like we kind of did some data information back and forth, and we've got a lot of grant funding from that. So we've got this great book machine at our elementary school. So it's another way that students can earn an award and get a token and get a book.
Cool.
That grant actually brought us a lot. We got to bring astronaut Anderson to school last year with that grant as well.
That's cool.
They've provided a lot of swag for us, which is really fun. You'll see these all coming very soon.
Yep. And as a mentor, you generally do get a t-shirt out of the deal.
Yes. I mean, who doesn't love a t-shirt?
That's right. And they're very comfortable. And
those are my favorites.
Yes. Yes. Well, I love that you called it the book machine because I think that just adds another element for the kids. They're like, I'm going to the book machine today.
Who doesn't love to stick a coin in and receive a prize of
exactly.
any sort?
And literally, there are some great paperback books in here, like things that are kids' favorites and things they want to read. So it's a great program and really a nice incentive to keep kids active in the school and so forth too. So
that's been very fun.
So how do you, I mean, you talked about grants, but how else do you fundraise for the program? Because obviously it takes money to keep things like this going.
Yes. Yeah. We actually have a lot more expenses than I realized going in. Like we have to do background checks. We have fees that we pay to the organization. We do scholarships for our kids. As long as they follow through, we have a $2,000 scholarship for each of our seniors.
Wow, that's amazing.
I mean, we've got a lot. So we do a fundraising campaign about March every year. Where we basically just go to the businesses and ask people, would you be interested in donating? Because we know there's enough stuff like that if they probably already have a t-shirt, things like that. So that's a big one for us. We do some concession stands throughout the years. But really, our capital campaign is our biggest fundraiser.
Right, absolutely. And you're so good about using those funds to bring the mentors and the kids together, whether it's at the school or maybe we'll go to a hockey game or attend a basketball game or something like that, where we're all in the same place at the same time. Everybody's paid for. You don't have to worry about bringing cash, unless they want to eat the concession stand out,
which they do love.
Out of food, but
the hockey game is a huge event every year, and so many of those kids have not experienced a hockey game before. So they just light up.
It is. And it's an opportunity for children who maybe would never have that opportunity to do these things. So there's all kinds of mutually beneficial activities that really play out for the mentors too. And, you kind of go into it like, well, how's this going to look? When I get in there and how I don't know this child. What am I going to say to them? I'm not their mom.
Everybody says the mentors are way more scared than the students.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. It is intimidating to go back into the school where you maybe graduated from. And you think you know it, but you don't because things have changed a lot.
So much. Even this year I went to the elementary school. I was like, oh no, everything's changed. I've got to relearn again.
Yes, it is. And every year you kind of have those first stage jitters with that first meeting. But it all just kind of works. It falls together.
It does. I think everybody has that. Oh, do they still like me after summer? Do they still want to do this?
Right.
And the students are good. They always want to come back.
Yes.
We've had very few not want to come back.
Absolutely. I agree. And there's just that adult anxiety that goes with some of this.
Yep. Too much life experience.
Yes. Agreed. So, we're working on getting new mentors. You're working on fundraising year round. And really, it's just a matter now of getting those names in the hat and matching those people up. So how do you pick who goes with who? What's What's the criteria?
So that's really, it's kind of my job.
Okay.
It's a big part of it, and it's kind of
Good
a fun
luck.
process for me, actually. I love it. So for training, after they've applied, got the okay, they do an online training now,
Okay.
which is great. It's an interactive thing, so it's not boring.
Sure.
After they've completed that, they come do a training with me where they've already learned most of the things, so we can really just have a conversation.
Sure.
And we talk about things that they enjoy. So I get to learn their personality a little bit, and it never fails. Every time I'm talking to a new mentor, one of my kids on the waiting list pops up in my brain. Okay, this is great.
Yep.
Or if the mentor has a preference, if they are like, please do not put me in elementary school, I will not thrive there.
Sure.
That is totally fine.
Okay.
So we're flexible in that.
Yes, absolutely. And, like she said, you do start in elementary. Third
Yes.
grade
Yep.
is the earliest that people can be suggested for the program.
Correct.
And so I think I started with my most recent mentee in fifth grade,
so.
if I remember correctly.
I'm
So,
pretty sure it was.
when you think about going from fifth to 12th grade, that's a long relationship with somebody. And it really does create a life connection.
Yes.
Because I could see this being a situation where this person maybe calls me from college or sends me a text message or stops in at the office, which does happen now on occasion if they're downtown. So, and I'm okay with that. I think it's great. And, they get to see me out in the wild and in my environment too, so we're just not at school always doing the same things. So, yeah. Benefits of a small town.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But generally, we do have to keep all activities on school grounds. That's one of the regulations. So,
yes, I know mentors often ask, they're like, if I see my mentee out in public, what do I do? I'm like, don't run away. It's okay. We live in a small town. Like you say, they're going to stop by there, see your business, say hello. That's okay.
That's right.
Just don't plan to go out for ice cream afterwards.
No. And sometimes they're out with a group of students. They're either fundraising for, maybe the cheerleading organization or they're doing some sports promotions or something like that. And so it's just a natural thing where you're going to run into each other.
In a smaller town, things overlap. You might be in the same church or some group together that you will see each other. And that's great. That's fine.
Yes, exactly. So it does extend outside of the school occasionally, but there's some professional boundaries that everybody needs to respect.
Yep. And they are healthy for both student and adults.
Yes, absolutely. So what else do we need to talk about? You've got a board of directors that kind of oversees everything.
Yes.
So there's always need for
yes. We actually have a board meeting
volunteers
today. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of kicking back into the school year, and we will have our back to school pizza party on Monday.
Good reminder for that too.
That is always a lot of fun. That's a great opportunity. Usually the mentee's family really doesn't know their mentor at all because we meet at school.
Yes.
So we do have this one time where families are invited.
Right.
A lot of mentors have got to meet the families that way, and it's really fun.
Exactly.
And there's always a lot of pizza eaten.
Yeah, there is.
We learned to just order more pizza.
Yes. Well, and it's just a great way to kick off the school year too, because like I said, some of that anxiety can be released in a more group environment where you're not just one-on-one. So you sit down, you have supper together, you meet their family if you're lucky, and then you can go get their schedule and figure out your game plan for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
so
works really well.
It really does.
Makes it a little easier for me too. Then I don't send 120 emails.
Well, and you're so good at just organization. You send out a weekly email so that we know what's going on, and you send out a monthly newsletter, and that way we can kind of stay in the loop too if new things are coming down the pike,
right?
Or if and advice for what to talk about or what to do if this certain circumstance pops up. Here's how you can maybe handle it a little bit easier.
And our TeamMates National Office does a great job of providing resources.
Yes.
So I can pass those on to you guys. Like, if there is some teenage drama that you're like, how do I deal with this? Or different things we just don't know because, we're just people.
Yes.
We haven't had we've had training, but not years of extended training on this. So it's nice to have those extra resources.
Yes. And like Shalee and I were talking before we started, we're boy moms. Yes. And mentors are matched with similarly sexed mentees. So I have a female mentee, and that is sometimes difficult because I'm used to raising boys.
Right. Yeah. And I know we were teenagers once, but that feels so long ago.
It does. Well,
things are so different.
Yeah, they are. And sometimes some of the things that maybe happen in a friend group end up coming up in conversations, and we're just there to listen. We're there to provide a supportive shoulder, not to make judgment or not to give advice necessarily, but it is eye-opening to hear what is sometimes happening. And so it does make you very aware of what the new dynamics of raising teenage girls might be.
I totally agree. And even not having a girl, just my oldest is a 7th grader. So I've gone through this with a few high schoolers now.
Yes.
And just knowing what it's like to be a teenager, I feel like it's helpful for me as a parent.
Right. That change through puberty and just the emotional toll.
Yes.
And again, again, the anxiety of starting that 7th grade year in the new school and so forth. So it all goes with it, but that's why mentors are designed the way they are, and that's why we do what we do. So you don't have to have a teaching background, trust me.
You definitely don't. You don't have to be good at math.
No.
If they ask for help, you can help them find somebody that is good at math.
I have not once had to read an English paper, do a mathematical problem, or figure out any correct answers.
Yes, I did have a mentee once that she was, I think, algebra or geometry. I don't know. I haven't done that for a long time. And
Sure.
I am really sorry. I cannot help you with this. Let's go talk to your math teacher together.
Yes. Well, and math is different too. So
different
I can't
now.
retrain my brain to do math the way that we do math.
Me either.
I'm getting too old for that. So yes, it's really not schoolwork related.
Right.
It's definitely that emotional and you know, connection there. So
Yes.
So anything else we need to add today, or?
Let's see. Not that I can think of. Just if anybody has questions, feel free to reach out. You can go to teammates.org. That is the national website.
Great. Yep.
Or locally, you can reach out to me. Trisha has my contact information.
Definitely.
We do have a Facebook page, just Wayne Teammates, kind of highlighting different things throughout the year. So
Absolutely. So men, get this on your calendar and get it on your schedule for applying to be a Teammates mentor. We definitely need you, and ladies too, for that matter.
We do. Yeah, we still have 10 girls waiting.
Yes,
so.
yes, 25 total kids that need a mentor. Great program, great benefits for you as the mentor as well as the mentees, and it's definitely worth looking into or giving it a try.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much again for joining us today. We are glad to have Shalee Hoffman with Teammates here today, and I am Trisha Peters with White Farmhouse Realty. Welcome home.